Hello everyone, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today I'll be talking to you about who I think the best junglers are for Season 9. The first jungler I'll be talking about is Khazix. Khazix is a very strong solo queue oriented jungler that relies on his passive in order to isolate and easily destroy any targets that come into his path. His ultimate also allows him to dominate the solo queue by allowing him to weave in and out of team fights, and with its passive allowing him to adapt to almost any team comp that he needs to adapt to, whether it be his slow with his W or increased damage from his Q. Another good solo queue oriented jungler right now is Evelynn. Similar to Khazix, she relies heavily on her passive in order to dominate the game. Her invisibility or stealth that lets her walk through the jungle and the lanes without being seen allows her to get the drop on the enemy team without them suspecting it. This allows her to get objectives, invade, or assassinate without running into any opposition. Another good jungler right now that is more on the tanky side and less focused on carrying would be Nunu. Nunu is a tank that has a very good clear and is very successful in ganking and invading the enemy jungle. He should be played by invading constantly the enemy jungle and then looking for ganks with his W. This will allow him to get a major advantage over the enemy team, allowing him to control the map and get objectives easily. With patch 9.4, Conqueror was reworked, giving it a 8-second true damage passive for melee champions at full stacks, whereas 2 seconds for ranged champions. With this, it is no surprise that Jax has come back into the jungle and is currently one of the best junglers that you can play in almost any elo. The new item, Spirit Shojin, also has increased his viability in the jungle due to its increased damage and cooldown reduction for his abilities whenever he activates his ultimate in a team fight. This allows him to easily dominate any team fight and to therefore carry more easily and successfully than he was previously able to do. Kayn is another jungler that has benefited from the Conqueror buffs and is now currently going red form Kayn with the Conqueror. This allows him to stay in team fights and to do more damage while healing due to the passive healing that it also gives during full stacks. Due to his melee, it gives him 8 seconds of true damage, allowing him to heal for 10% of the damage he deals, which stacks well with his ultimate. Truly have benefited from the Conqueror buffs is Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai has been in a poor spot for the past couple of seasons due to multiple nerfs and reworks of her kit, which have left her unable to carry or to truly contribute to her team as long as the game lasts longer than 10 minutes. Jarvan is a jungler that recently came back due to changes in the jungle. He has been missing for quite some time due to nerfs to his attack speed and his base stats. However, right now he is one of the strongest junglers that you can be playing, building almost full damage into tank. He is able to quickly initiate almost any team fight and to shut down almost any carry. Vi has not seen popularity for a while, but recently she has gained a ton of popularity. She is currently running Hail Blades or Electrocute, depending on how you wish to run her. Hail Blades is much better the higher elo you go, whereas Electrocute is easy carrying if you know how to play her. She does struggle later on into the game as her scaling falls off versus most junglers. However, she is an excellent duelist in the early game and is very good at initiating in team fights. She requires a lot of decision making, so you need to be careful when you use your ultimate and how you use it. With carry junglers once again on the rise in the jungle, it is no surprise that there are a couple counter picks to these carry junglers if you so wish to pick them. Rammus is an excellent pick into heavy AD team comps. He also is very good at countering most assassin junglers, and therefore should be picked in most of these situations. You can either go full tank with him, or you can take Predator, though the full tank build is much better to last you throughout the entire game, instead of giving you just an early advantage that Predator will give you. Udyr is another excellent counter jungler right now. His high mobility, damage, and clear speeds allow him to constantly invade and fight the enemy jungler. It does not matter whether they are a tank, carry, or an assassin. His survivability and DPS are outmatched in the early game, allowing him to quickly control the entire match. This allows him to control objectives and to finish the game without the enemy jungler being able to deal with him. Someone that people should be looking at or learning how to play is Sylas. Sylas is a new champion that is not very strong right now. However, in the right hands, he can be a menace. Currently, there are two builds for Sylas: the full assassin build and the tank build. The full assassin build goes into the Runic Echoes and Lichbane, whereas the tank build goes Runic Echoes and Iceborne Gauntlet. The full assassin Sylas build is the easiest to play. However, it is much easier for you to die as well. His power spike is delayed due to him needing both Runic Echoes and Lichbane to truly be able to one-shot anyone on the enemy team. Once he has these two items, however, he is a complete menace if played properly and will completely dominate the enemy team without any restraint. The tank Sylas build is much harder to use, as it requires you to know his damage levels and not to miss his second E. It uses Aftershock to give him bonus armor and magic resist, which allows him to have higher survivability rates in team fights and 1v1 skirmishes. It also allows him to be able to dive better due to the increased tanky stats. Thank you for stopping by. I hope the information I provided was useful and that you were able to learn something from the video. If you have any questions about any of the information covered in this topic, or you have anything that you would like me to go more in depth on, feel free to message me in the comments. I also stream most days except for Monday and Thursday at night, so you are free to drop by my Twitch stream as well in order to ask me any questions there. I hope the information provided was useful, and I wish you luck on Summoner's Rift.